How are you going? Did you have a good drive into work?
What was that, sorry?
Did you have a good drive into work?
Yeah, it was good. Got the guys started down there, so hopefully I'll be uninterrupted for a bit.
Yeah, cool. Is your work far away from home, or is it?
It's about half an hour.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. So you stayed in Rocky itself, or is it just?
No, so halfway between Rocky and Yeppoon. So
Okay.
Yeppoon's the coast, Rocky's sort of like
Yeah.
the main.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. So, but you live halfway between there, but your work is
In Rockhampton, yeah.
is Rockhampton. Yeah. Okay. So you drive inland from the place you live, and then to work. Yeah. Oh, that's good. There's no traffic, is it? No.
Not really until you get. It's literally just going over the bridges. That's the only real traffic, or around the school drop-offs and stuff.
Yeah.
But nothing like any bigger city.
No.
Sort of get stuck in maybe one set of lights and watch it go green and red once, rather than you go to Brisbane or Melbourne or Sydney like that.
Yeah,
you just sit there for 3 or 4 cycles.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with that.
No, I think you're quite. Yeah, no, it's really hard. I remember we lived closer to the city before, and it was like you're constantly just sitting in traffic. We're close to a freeway where we are, so it's kind of like this traffic flows pretty well, like around where we are. But as soon as you kind of hit like city streets a little bit further in, you're just like red light, green light, red light, green light. So yeah.
Good games.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'll just there. So we probably just have a bit of a chat. So we got Kendall and Connor on. I think it's Tommy D that's listening in. So say good day to him if he's in the back there, but he's probably just listening in. So we just record this, and then I had a chat to Clinton, a couple of other guys just working today as well, that asked if I could record it so they could listen to it. So so I'll just share that with them later on. So I was just gonna just let you have a bit of a chat about your group. So so Kendall is actually from my dad's group in Vermont.
Yep.
So we're in the same group here. Connor is part of Dads of Geelong down the coast. So he's in another group. So I don't think, Connor, is your group is not that active at the moment, is it?
No, there's nothing happening.
Yeah. So we're planning to go for a drive soon. We're planning to take the Dads of Vermont group, and there's another group across, and see if we can actually go down the coast and catch up with Connor and see
Christmas
if we can,
party.
Yeah.
At the beach.
Yeah, it does get tricky this time of year, like trying to, all your weekends fill up with bloody end of year breakups for, my work, Mrs. work, and we get invited to a whole heap of other ones as well. So it's definitely a busy time of year.
Yeah, so it's hard to kind of get things up, and we just got out of lockdown like not long ago either, so we just started to be able to catch up. So people are kind of catching up everywhere. Yeah. And want to do things and want to go out of town. So I think it's probably that too that could affect things a bit as well. So so I'll just see, probably if you want to talk a little about it. So Sam is he's the group leader of Dads of Rockhampton, and he's also working in the Rockhampton Hospital as well as a perinatal care educator. And so if you want to tell us a little bit about your group, where you're catching up, maybe the size of it as well, and a little bit about what you're doing in the hospital and what you like about doing what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll start with the hospital. That's where it all sort of kicked off. I guess Tom was on the hunt for a dad's group leader in Rockhampton or Central Queensland, and asked the midwives up at the Rockhampton Hospital if they had anyone in mind, and they threw my name in the hat. Tom gave me a call, pretty much told me what the group was about and what Dad's group was about. I just hasn't said no to anything he said since then. So that's got me involved in a whole range of different things. Like Tom F said about the peer-to-peer education up at the hospital with the antenatal classes, helping out there, running the local dads group with one of my other mates, Steve. We both have pretty demanding jobs, so it's good to have sort of a second guy to bounce off and help run things. We're pretty active on Facebook, our group. Lots of discussions sort of happen. A lot of it's pretty organic. It's just guys helping guys out, really. Feel free to jump on Dads of Rockhampton and have a look at some of the stuff, some of the topics we talk about. One of them was one of the guys, kids just broke his leg. So there's a whole stream about, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to your kids, and what are some coping methods that you guys used. So there's a whole raft of kids get up to some pretty crazy things if you have a look at it, breaking legs and hung up on fences by their ball sack and all sorts of odd things.
Oh man, that sounds painful.
But yeah, I don't know. It's, I enjoy being a part of the group. Just having conversations like this, I guess, sharing experiences and seeing, how other people are coping with things and reaching out. If it's, taking training wheels off kids' bikes, bloody changing nappies, wind, babies with upset bellies, and how to help and relieve some of those sorts of things is some of the topics, I guess, that spring to mind. But
yeah. No, that's great. I think what comes to mind as well, like, have you found that it's kind of changed your, like, how do you find it's benefited you and your family being part of that group? Have you found it, like?
I guess for me, it's backed up what I was doing. I think it's made me more conscious and present with what important roles dads have. You think, roll before I started looking at any of this research or being a part of dad's group, you roll around with your kid or your son on the rug in the lounge room and a bit of a rough and tumble play and pillow fights and all that sort of stuff, and just a bit of a wrestle on the trampoline. And then you read an article about how that actually impacts and helps to build a strong, resilient, man as an adult, and how those bonds and those relationships all come into the neurodevelopment of children. I think that was the biggest part for me, is just sort of opening my eyes into a bit more of that information. And that's what I like to share on Dad's Group as well, on the Dads of Rockhampton, is just, I've found a benefit of it, and I'm sure other dads would as well, that it's encouraging that, what we do is important as dads, and we do have a big impact on our kids' lives.
Yeah, it's very true. This is kind of like backing up what you're doing, the positive things that you're doing, and
pretty much,
yeah.
Little nudge in the right direction sometimes as well.
Yeah. Have you also found it's a good way? I found it's a really good way of like getting friends, and I've got a lot of new friends through Dad's Group as well, and which is actually on the same kind of level as myself, which I didn't have a lot of friends with kids before.
Definitely.
Yeah.
One of the rules that we do at our Dad's Group meetups is we try to introduce ourselves and not include anything about work, because I find us as men, when you go to introduce yourself to someone else or someone new, the first thing you do is, hey, how you going? Kendall, what do you do for work, mate? And then your whole conversation swings around work, which is, we're more than just workhorses.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's true. I actually had someone saying that.
About work on Facebook.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of. We actually had our Dad's Group. Actually, I realised in my Dad's Group that some people I didn't actually catching up for over a year, and I didn't know what they were doing for work.
Yep.
Yeah, which is actually really great. Some of them actually before we started to talk about it, but yeah.
And that's, I think it's like you were saying, it helps build those, new relationships and new mates, because it gives you something else to, what normally brings two people together is a common interest, and children obviously are the Dad's Group's common interest. So when you have kids around the same age, it's just natural to sort of, end up well, let's go to the skate park or let's go to the beach or something. Or, you end up doing a couple of little play dates and kids benefit from it, then the adults benefit from it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you live in a really beautiful spot as well. Like you halfway between Rocky and Yeppoon as well, and Yeppoon's a really beautiful spot too. So is that where you catch up, or is it in Rockhampton itself?
Predominantly we just do the parks. I'm not a big cafe kind of guy.
No.
I like the fact of being able to be out and having other dads, potentially seeing the group and coming over and going, hey, what's this bunch of dads doing? Like, what's happening? So it's quite interesting to see how other people will come over and approach us and see what's going on. So a lot of local parks. We're pretty lucky to have some really nice parks around Rockhampton. We are looking at organising. Steve and I just have to work out dates when we're both off. But we're trying to do an end of year Christmas breakup and then try to get some solid dates in the calendar for next year as well. Because I find I guess on the face-to-face meetups, it's hard to find a day or a time or the best suits sort of everyone. So you get sort of different groups of people. Sometimes I try to do a Wednesday after school catch up at a park. 3 o'clock till about 4 o'clock. And just hang out at the park and wind down after school. Kids come and play, and sort of encourages a couple of dads to try to hit up their boss for an early knock on a Wednesday. Pick up their kids. But other than that, the weekend's obviously the main draw card. We're pretty lucky in Rocky. I think we average like 300 and something days of sunshine. So not like down south or Melbourne or anything. It's a lot more outdoors.
Yeah, you're lucky with that. It's good. You don't really get affected. We had some really, really unstable weather in the last week or so, which is just going from winter to summer. Oh, Tommy D's showed up. Is it golf cart or something?
Good morning. Sorry, I've been with
Looks
you
like
the
a
whole
tractor.
time. I've just got a few jobs on this morning. Hi Sam, nice to hear your interview. This is Jojo. We're just on a tractor and we're not going to interrupt. We just wanted to say hello and keep listening.
Nice. What's happening?
So say hello to the guys.
Hello, good to see you, mate.
We're on the tractor.
No, you're on the tractor. How's the weather up in Albury Wodonga?
Yeah, we got 2 days of sun and then it's going to be rain for a week, I think. So enjoying it, getting out and chopping some grass.
Lads, I'm next in line for the test, so I'll have to run.
No worries, Connor. Yeah,
This is where I'm at.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
So,
He's in
Good
there.
to see you, Connor.
Good luck, mate.
wish me luck with a stick up my nose.
Ugh.
Oh,
You just be grateful that it's up your nose, mate.
They don't go all the
Yeah,
way
that's
up the nose anymore. So.
I heard they do. I asked the question.
Oh,
on the
they
phone.
do? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's only the kids that don't do that. Oh, anyway. You'll let us know what happens.
Yeah. I'll join back on after anyways.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. See ya. Yeah. Oh, that's really great. Thanks, Sam. I think it's really great, like sharing up there, and it's good to, it's great. We need
I
to
like hearing the different ways in which you're doing it in your community and just gives us different ideas.
Yeah, I got some ideas from it now as well, because we were thinking about like how can we actually get more people involved and make times that actually suit everyone. That's actually a really great idea. We may actually do something, Kendall, up our way to do something after school, see if we can actually do something just after school.
Yeah, I think for us, we just we just have a go.
Yeah,
We're just trial and error.
Yeah.
Much like being a dad, you have a go, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, you know not to do it next time.
Yeah. And I think that's I love that. I love that attitude, because like if you don't actually do that, you never find out what works, and it's so great. Yeah.
Is that kind of, that's the thing we've been doing for 7 years, is innovating, trialing different things, testing it, recording whether it works, sharing what works with other people, and then other people replicating it. Now we've got all these different dads doing different great things in their communities that suit the communities that they're in. Sam, I was going to ask if it hasn't already been asked. What's one of your great favourite memories from since you've been doing something like leading fathers and families in communities and hospitals and stuff? What's one of your fun memories or something that you just like, that was a great day or a great moment?
I think for me, after one of our emotional sort of readiness peer-to-peer education part of the antenatal class, just some of the feedback that you get from that. Every time I leave one of those sessions, you get that little glow and sort of that uplifting feeling that, especially on the basis of the feedback that the dads give, because the information that gets thrown at people from an antenatal class is heavily around the mother and the baby. And then, my spin on that is how to focus that on what the dads can do and how the dads can be helpful. And because I guess that's my favorite part, if you were to have to put it down to one thing. And,
and do you remember kind of vaguely what someone's, you said there's really nice feedback or helpful, supportive feedback or something that just made you go, awesome. What type of words are they saying? What are the things that they're saying in that moment?
Someone when they genuinely look at you and just say thank you. And like it's, I don't know, it's sometimes you get, what you can like it too, but if you can imagine someone has ever really just said thank you, and you can tell that it's the most sincere thing that they, that's what I reckon.
Yeah, that's actually, I really like that, because you're right. As soon as you said that, I thought of someone who'd said thank you, and that behind that thank you is like a world of pain, curiosity, questioning, and answers and support all in one. And because you look at their eyes and they look at you, and it's like, and it just makes you so glad to be able to help. Yep. And you're right. It's not a short essay response or feedback on how good the program was. It's just like a genuine, heartfelt thank you so much. This was good.
I think that's so good, because I can really relate to that, because when you're actually getting those thank yous, that's really like genuine, and it's really great, and it keeps you going and doing these things as well. Like, it's just really great. Oh yeah, have we got any questions for Sam? Well, there's only Kendall on the panel now, but
I was just curious if he rides mountain bikes, because the EWS world champion has the same name.
I've heard that.
He's Western Australian, so you're okay.
It's too much pedaling in mountain bikes. Give me on a dirt bike any day. But those e-bikes are pretty good these days as well. But they cost the same as a motorbike, so.
Oh yeah, they do. But they're so amazing. I was riding, Mum and Dad have them out the farm, and they got a rail trail out here. And you get on the rail trail, it's just silent, and it's a different experience, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm saving up for a downhill version.
Oh, they're amazing.
And you just go down anything and pedal straight back up.
Yeah, I mean, you can throw $6-7 grand at one of those, $8 grand, and more.
Double that.
Yeah, right.
The most expensive ones are about 22,000 now, which is insane. Yeah. It's the same as a road bike.
Some of my mates do a fair bit of hunting, and like you were just saying, Tom, with the quietness of them, they're finding it, being able to cover a fair bit of ground and sneak up on what they're hunting.
That's a fat bike, mate. The ones with got like motorbike sized fat tires, and they're you can get them with motors, and they just go forever. And you can
my mate
sand,
one
snow,
sand, the beach riding. He rides along the beach.
Yeah, they're unreal for that.
I just sent you a message, Tom. You have to play it as you're driving back the tractor to go see Kate.
Yeah, I will.
Couldn't help myself.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm going to go check out what it is.
Oh no, that's great. But you're doing a bit of, like, you're on a big property up there as well, so you've got the room to do
Yeah, we've got 50 acres, so got a couple of sheep. I just got a new piglet. So, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. This makes me think maybe you should have like a national dads group catch up in there. Have you got any good camping spots?
Oh, I do actually. So I've made a little campground. We got a little natural spring and a little creek. And yeah, I mow a little patch around that. And I'm looking at building a little like lean-to shed and little sort of like camp shower down there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, he's
That'd be all right.
it's just someone there. Yeah, no, that would be great. Maybe we should. I've got a camper. Kendall's got a caravan.
Yeah, mate, come on up. Borders. When are they opening?
I think they're open for Christmas. I think. Yeah. Tommy D would know because he's trying to get across the border.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be heading back when we don't have to quarantine. We just don't want to sit in a house for 2 weeks with Joseph, Annabelle, Evie pulling their hair out or pulling our hair out.
It would be.
It was only 1 week.
No.
The parents are probably enjoying the hand around the farm anyway, mate.
Oh yeah, that's right. Dad's we've been. I'll show you.